KoA life can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I rip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a scotch bunny. Don't try to study me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Phen coming to you live from Kingdom 5180. I have been part of this content creators group for a while now, and I wanted to come up with something that was going to be worthwhile. I've been waiting on Solar for a few weeks now on something decent to be released. Unfortunately, nothing has appeared. So I went and took the initiative in asking the rest of my alliance over here in 5180 on suggestions for content. Right, so we had a few options. One of them was war tomes. Another one of them was, I think, attack formations. Another one was on collecting resources in lab and Spire. Some of them were crazy out of the box things, but it was totally worth it. I went and I had a look through all of them, and then I went and chose what was voted on the most, which was crit defense and crit attack. So what is crit, I hear you ask? Without further ado, let's get down to it. Okay, so crit defense and crit offense comes from having three troop types or more and 6 troop types or less. You will have to start researching this in War Fury, and it's under Undying Oath. Okay, currently I have my crit maxed out. Okay, I know Capri SZN ended up doing a video on it, and my first video I did put in a link to his thing, but still people did not quite understand it. So Undying Oath, you have to get to 40 as soon as possible. Why is that? Because with crit you end up doing extra damage. Okay, this over here is another 36. I'm at 37 at the moment. This guy, Hellboy. Oh, sorry, he's a 38, my bad. Anyway, he ended up having X amount of troops, and with that I ended up hitting him. And yeah, he didn't exactly have crit defense on. He still carried on with too many different kinds of troops. I think he ended up having about 7 different types. Let's have a look quickly. Let's go down to the battle report, battle details. Okay, so he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so already that was a waste. So I ended up killing all of his troops. He only had 35,000 destroyers left over after I finished with him. So yeah, that's the only downside when you're going for a high defense. Okay, but he hasn't got much troops because I zeroed him before. Sorry about that. Actually, not sorry. Anyway, here is one from KVK yesterday where a 40 decided he was going to hit me. As you can see over here, I lost quite a lot of troops, but I do have crit defense activated. And over here you can see the element value is valued at 100. And his stats are much higher except for his infantry, but I do focus on infantry strictly because the higher the amount of infantry that I have, the higher the baseline. So yeah, I can give it an opportunity for the rest of my troops to attack. That is the purpose of a meat shield. Everyone will be focused on your infantry too much, and not too many will be focused on the rest of your troops. As you can see over here, I didn't actually have much destroyers. I should have trained more. But yeah, with that, my troops that were killed, I got 100,000 destroyers killed, and I got 90,000 Nighthawks killed as well. Okay, in this he lost his march. Needless to say, it was totally worth it. I'm not going to go through too much of the power details as what our little friend Nightmare does. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, it does work. In some cases, you really need like high stats, especially if you're competing against bigger guys. But yeah, there we go. I'm just blabbering on now. Okay, so once you have all of your crit activated, you'll be able to do some extra damage, as I showed you in the report. If you had checked over here, you would have seen that my crit over here is at 40, my critical hit percentage of chance. And then over here you can see what extra damage I'd done. Okay, so my Undying Oath, because I attacked with 3 or more troops, but 6 or less, I ended up getting a total damage of 52,687 damage. Okay, that's additional. That's stacked on top of what you have already. Alright, now, once you have all of your crit activated, which is only going to be in War Fury, we're not sure if it's going to be added on with the new strongholds and troop types and everything that is going to be released later this year. But yeah, Undying Oath, it finishes over here. Max out is 40. Now for my crit attack, I have T11s and T10s. Now I have not got much T10s because I was hit yesterday. I have T10s and then I've got T11s. So it's 6 troop types that I've got for defense. And for offense, my march capacity is down to, I think, about 308 total, although this one I just equalized twice just so that I could lose less troops. Let's check over here. That was also equalized. Yeah, there we go. So it's 309,000. That's my march capacity, which I can adjust over here, right? Great. Now, did I just click on one? Yeah. Why is that readjusted so much? There. That's supposed to be. Whatever. I'll wait until all my troops get back. Okay. Now for your hit, you want to put on the front line as many infantry as possible, not too much, but enough so that when you go into battle, your infantry serves as a defense wall. Why is that? Because your infantry is targeted by your cavalry and your bowmen. Okay, so over here, T11 cavalry targets warriors. T10 cavalry over here targets bowmen, but T11 bowmen target your spearmen, which are most likely your odd tier troops. And then your Nighthawks, which are your T10, target your cavalry. Okay, so it normally works in the sense of having a decent amount of T10 and T11 in a march. Your T10 wall, which is, let's just quickly do that. Your T10 wall is used to defend against attackers, and because they are warriors, they will be targeted by your cavalry, okay? While your Reapers will be targeted by the bowmen. Now, with the new march, not many people are going to attack you with bowmen, okay? That makes the Reapers and the Frozen Spearmen quite... they're not targeted as much as what your T10 and T12 are, okay, because they are spearmen, right? So I wouldn't suggest you train too many, but I would suggest you train between 50% to 75% of your crit defense. If you have any crit attack. Over here, I put down 1,600 T11 infantry, where my destroyers was going to make up the base of this, the 309,000. Why is that? Because when I'm busy attacking somebody, my T10 are going to be wiped out first. So let me explain to you a little bit how this works. With your defense wall and your attack, the first troops that are wiped out are going to be your even tier. So it's going to be T2, T4, T6, T8, T10, T12. Then afterwards, it's going to start being your T1, T3, T5, T7, T9, T11, and T13. Which you don't want all of them to disappear, do you? No, you don't. Okay. So I put down all of the infantry down over here first, but I increase my bowmen and I increase my cavalry. The reason I do that is so that I can target all of the enemy's infantry and all of their bowmen. And with that, most of the time it will also target the cavalry, because remember, your infantry are your first line runners, followed by your cavalry, which are your second line, and then your third, which focus on being a primary up to a tertiary attack line. What makes me say that? Well, when you hit somebody, okay, if you go and you have a look at it, go watch a war movie, for instance, Alexander, 300, any of those kind of movies, you'll normally see that the infantry, which are the groundsmen, they will be attacking first, so they will have their shield down and they will start marching, okay? They will be the first to be attacked, okay? Now, with new heroes, your cavalry are going to do more damage than what your infantry and your bowmen are, okay? If I have a look at this, report, quickly, let's bring it up. No, it's not that one. I think it was this one. Do you see what troops I've lost? Okay, I've lost more T10 infantry than I did T11 infantry. Now, with my T10 infantry, I lost the home march because I sent whatever was left. And my bowmen, my T11 troops, my T11 beast riders, and my T11 death throwers ended up doing the most damage. Whereas my T10 didn't really do much. But if you notice, if you look closely, okay, the beast riders and the skull riders did more damage combined than what they did with the bowmen, okay? Which means what? Bowmen are going to be a sacrifice when you're getting attacked. Now, people are saying, no, don't upgrade all of your troops and only to cavalry and infantry. It's going to be a waste, right? They say, no, it's not going to work, blah, blah, blah. For me, I have been looking at all of these different reports and I notice what ends up being hit first. Okay, this guy over here hit me with his charges and stuff, but he didn't hit me. I don't think he did. Let me have a look. Okay, no, he did hit me with the NS4. But if you get them high enough, and you're facing somebody with the NS4 as well, you're going to be having a look at extra cavalry damage as opposed to the infantry, okay? If I have a look at mine, what ended up being wiped out first, what ended up happening with me wiping people out, I ended up killing more people with my T11 Beast Riders than what I did with my Death Throwers, okay? On top of that, I lost all of my infantry, because stuff the infantry, right? So there's different methods on how you want to build your attack march. There's different methods on how you want to build your defense, but I'm going to go down and break it down to you for defense. So as I said before, we want to have as many even infantry, so that's T10 and T12, or T12, sorry. If you have T12 unlocked, you don't want to have T10. You want to have your T11 and you want to have your T12. If you got T13 unlocked, you want to upgrade all of your troops to T13, right? Okay. With that being said, pretty much all of my troops because they're dead. I have to go and train all of them and resurrect them from Sanctum. The T10 destroyers are going to be your baseline. So I will need at least like 500,000 if I want to withstand a 40. For instance, without any troop losses on my other troop types, I want to have at least 500,000 T10s. Then over here, I want to have between 250,000 to 425, somewhere around there, for my T11s, because I want to start taking out the light cavalry, okay? Then, the rule of thumb is normally have, for every two infantry that you train, you want to train 1 cavalry and 1 bowman. In this case, because of the whole new NS4 March, you don't want to do that. You want to keep your infantry as high as possible, but then you want to bring in your cavalry and you want to bring in your bowmen to almost match. Okay, so for my T11 cavalry, because I'll be facing somebody who normally, on average, people send more even tier troops, and I don't understand why. It beats me. But when they see that you are facing a lot of cavalry or bowmen, they automatically send the rest of this even tier infantry, and my defense over here is going to be wiping them out single-handedly. Okay, so my beast riders, I need to bring between 250 to 300,000. That's going to be also for the skull riders, because they're going to be attacking the enemy bowmen. Okay, but what I don't want to do is train too many bowmen. Why is that? Because my bowmen will be wiped out quite heavily. Okay, but I still want to train bowmen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't train bowmen. I still want to train them, but I don't want to train as many as the cavalry, because the cavalry are already busy doing all of the kills. Okay, so my Nighthawks, they're going to be taking on enemy cavalry directly. That is going to be heavy cavalry. Okay, because it doesn't say light cavalry on the thing. Okay, so it's going to be taking on your cavalry, and then your death throwers are going to be taking on the spearmen. All right, but with my luck, I will be facing T13, because that's what everyone does. People can't stand me, so they don't hit me with a 40. No, they hit me with a 44 or 45. So to withstand that attack, I would need at least 250,000 of the Nighthawks and 250,000 death throwers. Because of my stats, I don't need to train as many troops. Okay, my troops are sufficient enough that I can be safe. I can play it safe. Okay, let's have a look at my most recent battle report. I'm sitting with 4K on top, 11 to 13K, well, 10 to 13K at the bottom, except for my bowman health, because I don't focus on that garbage. I don't bother too much with health, as much as I should, but to me, troops are meant to die, so yeah, I don't. Plus, with Life Preserver, most of my troops come back in any case. So with most of the cases, I don't need to focus on having too many troops, but I still need enough to withstand attacks. Okay, that's just the bottom line. Right, so because most 40s, the 40 that I faced yesterday was high ranking, it made him very difficult to push through. Okay, but with another 40 who's got less stats, and he ends up hitting me, which was over here, for instance, blah blah blah. Who's this guy? NFG, whatever. This guy hit me. No, it wasn't that one. This other guy hit me yesterday, also with a 40. Okay, he lost 79 million power, I lost 71. My wounded was 67,000, his losses were 324,985, and his wounded were 107,825,000. Okay, But as you can see over here, because he had 40s, he did do a little bit more damage than if he had T11 or his T10s. And he didn't send a crit march, he just sent like a normal one, which was a little bit stupid of him. I think he just equalized and wanted to kill the rest of his troops off. But against 40s, because most 40s run in the stat range over here between 3k and 8k, 9k, sometimes even 10k, they tend to do more damage when they are in that upper limit of like the 10k range. But because their stats are so low, I can pretty much say that I'm safe. My only real threat, as I said before, is 44s and 45s. 40s, unless it's somebody pushing high amounts of stats, and I'm telling you that's going to be like heavily crazy and quite pricey. They don't really have what it takes. Let's put it like that. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just saying it as it is. Okay. But anyway, I hope that kind of explains to you. As I said, oh yeah, we need to quickly do the attack. So for your attack, I would take your total march capacity, which is, for me, it's 309,000. I still need to work on how many troops I have. And then I would split it up to between, say, 60% infantry. Some people will shoot me down for that. Bear with me. And then actually bring it down to roughly 50% infantry. Then 25% for cavalry, 25% for bowmen. That's for your attack. Sometimes you can switch it up. You can go for 60% cavalry, 15% 15% cavalry. Yeah, sorry. 60% infantry, 15% cavalry, 25% bowmen. Okay. But with New March, if you have NS4, okay, I would suggest you go for high infantry, high cavalry march, 0 bowmen. Why is that? Because your bowmen are going to be doing less kills, and then, yeah, you're going to be just sacrificing the rest of your bowmen for like a couple thousand kills, okay? So I would be going about 55, 50 to 55,000, 50 to 55% on your infantry, and then 50 to 45% on your cavalry. Anyway, I hope this helps everyone out, and yeah, maybe we can go through something else a little bit similar, such as the war tomes next time. I'm not going to go through all of it now. I've currently got a lot to do. So yeah, I hope this helps. If you guys need any help with your formations and stuff, I can help you. Have a look in the drop box below. Go and join Best Games on WhatsApp and Line. Also on Discord, I will see if I can put up a link over there to the Discord group, and then you can also join the Phen Fam group, and you can also join the Best Games Abbas. Welcome to the family. You can go and join them over there, or in Best Games Abbas 1. All right, but Best Games Abbas 1 is quite dead, so Abbas, you need to do something about that. Otherwise, you can also join Phen Fam. All right, it would make a lot of sense if you could just contact me in game. As my comments, I don't really check them so often. I check them as often as I can, but yeah, sometimes the notifications don't get through to me. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Contact me in game. You can also contact me on Line, Phenomenomnom. I will post the Line ID below, and you guys can go and contact me from there. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Cheers.